this breeding right here. This is a double het snow female, and that's a snow male. It's actually her son. And you can see there's a lot more white in a snow. There is still a yellow. And like I said, you can't get rid of all the yellow because the axanthic gene it removes yellow, but it doesn't remove it all. What's up, snake fans? Dave Palumbo here for Muscle Serpents Daily. Today we're going to be looking at carpet pythons. That's right. I haven't talked about my carpets for quite a while. I want to kind of give you a little update on my snow and Moonglow projects and which babies we have available and what adults we're breeding, and get you caught up on that, because this year my main goal is to try to produce a full moon glow or full moon carpet python, which is going to be a super caramel, because caramel is an incomplete dominant gene, albino, axanthic. Axanthic removes yellow, albino removes black, and then caramel can also further erase the yellow that might be left, or whatever yellow is left. And if you get all those genes in their homozygous form, you actually get a white carpet python, which has been my goal since I started breeding them back in 2014, almost 10 years ago. So will it happen this year? Let's find out, see what's going on in the project. There it goes. There goes my bearded dragon. She's my little monster eating her crickets. It's her Christmas crickets. Yeah, eat them. You don't like the camera all of a sudden? I threw them and she gobbled down about 10 already. I couldn't pull the camera out fast enough. She's actually very pretty. Red monster, translucent, het hypo. She's got some pretty good genes in her. She's from some pretty good breeding stock. She's really just a pet, but I like her. She's got good personality. Let's see if she grabs a couple more crickets. As soon as I take the camera away, she'll gobble down 10 of them. Do a little time-lapse photography here. Oop, there she goes. They're crawling all over. They're all white because I dusted them with calcium, vitamin D, D3, which helps the lizards incorporate the calcium into their bone structure. You can take in all the calcium you want, but if you can't absorb it, it's not going to help you, right? The vitamin D3 helps direct that calcium into the bones. UV light will also, trigger the animal to produce its own vitamin D3. But it's always good to play it safe. Give them a little extra. She's like, I don't know where to turn first. There's a lot of food in this cage. Kind of got my pick. You got your pick. All right. There's my little boy, Kofu. What's up, Kofu? No whipping. No whipping. No whipping. No whipping. Lizards just don't like cameras in their faces. Maybe snakes don't either, but I guess they can't really express it as much as the lizard can. I know you ate already, so I know you got to be in a good mood. What's up, big boy? Oh, good. I know you like to blow air. Be a big shot. Say hi to everyone. Look how big he's getting. This lizard has gotten big. He's gonna get a lot bigger than that too, right? Right, big boy? Yep. Now that is called a rhino mouse ball. That female got big. Our female rhinoceros really put a lot of size in it. She turned completely green since the last time I saw her. Look at that. All right, let's let her digest. Look at my little blue tongue here. She's hungry too. I'm gonna get you some food. Change your water out a little bit, huh? All right, we're gonna take a look at a carpet python clutch. This was from this past year. This is a snow. It's a double het snow breeding we got. We had a lot of snows we produced in here. We lost a bunch of them, but everyone that's left now is pretty much eating on their own. All right, so here's the first baby I want to show you. This is a double het snow baby. It still has its juvenile colors here, and this one just started eating on its own, so I'm pretty happy about that. A lot of times these babies, you have to kind of assist feed them, and then hopefully they start eating. I don't think we've ever had a snake that didn't start eating eventually. Sometimes they take a long time though. So this is double het snow, so it's het for albino and it's het for axanthic. All right, here's another beauty from that clutch. This is an axanthic. Look at that, see that silver eye? That tells you it's axanthic. So axanthic means it removes all the yellows. This is an axanthic that's het albino or het snow. When we say het snow, it just means an albino axanthic is a snow. So when we say it's axanthic het albino, we can also say het snow. It just means the same thing. But to be technically correct, it's het albino. It's a visual axanthic. This thing will, when it hits its adult colors, will be way more black and whitish. You'll see less browns in there. And once again, just really started doing its own food. Now this was born in May of this year, so it still has its juvenile colors. Now here's an albino that's het for snow, or albino that's het for axanthic. Same thing. And this albino still has its juvenile colors, and that's why it's kind of still has like a reddish tinge to it. Most carpet babies have a reddish look to them, and you can even see it in the albinos, but that like reddish hue that's over their body will turn white. They're going to be very white with yellow in them when they're adults. This is a really nice albino. She's been eating really well too, so I'm kind of really happy about how she turned out. And you can never have too many albino carpets. They're just gorgeous. I'll show you some of the adults after this, how much they change. All right, now this is a snow. So you saw the albino, you saw the axanthic. Now you're gonna see an albino axanthic, which we call a snow. And once again, still with its juvenile colors, this will get much whiter. It will have some patches of yellow in it a little bit. The snows are not completely white in carpets, and that's why we try to get the caramel gene in there with them, because the caramel gene will remove the yellows that are left. And I have yet to produce a double gene caramel, a super caramel albino axanthic, and that's what we're trying for this year. We have a couple of chances to do it. I hope we do, but this is definitely a snow. You can see the eyes are even different. They're not really red eyes. They're kind of like almost like a whitish eye, and you can never have too many snows. I actually, like I said, I produced a bunch of snows, and they just, for some reason, they were not eating. They didn't. A bunch of them died, and so I'm very happy to have this one. You never know. Look, when you're breeding animals, you can never tell what's going to live and what's not going to live. I'm glad that I got one. You know, this is a beautiful female. She probably at some point will be put up for sale. But then again, I might keep her too, so I haven't decided. But I'm going to show you. I have a bunch of adults that I've been growing up for like 3-4 years. They take a while, carpets. They don't breed so young, you know. And they're not great eaters when they're babies, so it takes a while to get them. Once they get into that bulletproof stage at about a year old, where they're eating anything, then you can kind of get them to grow a little faster. All right, that's our snow. All right, here's our albino het axanthic or het snow. You can see what a big difference. You saw the albino before, that little baby. It had like that red tinge to it. That's what it's going to turn into. It's going to look just like this. When it gets older, you're going to see all those whites in here. You'll see the yellows. That's normal. It To get rid of the yellows, we got to put the axanthic gene in there. That takes out most of the yellows, but you'll still have some yellows, like I said, even in the snows. And I'll show you snow in a minute. So this female's, I think she's a 19. She might be ready to breed this year. We'll have to see. Deep in there, well, I don't want to really pull her out. This girl was what I believe to be a caramel and albino. So she's not an axanthic. She's actually 66% het axanthic. So we don't really know if she's het axanthic. We'd have to breed her to prove her out. But she's got 1 copy of the caramel gene and 2 copies of albino, which gives her the visual albino. And then caramel is an incomplete dominant in carpet python, so we got 1 copy of that, and that's why she looks a little different. She looks, you can see the pattern is a little more diffuse. It's like it erased some of it, but it doesn't look like a typical albino, and that's, I'm pretty sure, because there's caramel in there. It was easier to see when she was actually younger, believe it or not, than now. All right, now just to show you and give you a contrast, this breeding right here, this is a double het snow female, and that's a snow male. It's actually her son, and you can see there's a lot more white in a snow. There is still a yellow. And like I said, you can't get rid of all the yellow because the axanthic gene it removes yellow, but it doesn't remove it all. Especially these locality carpet pythons come from Erie and Jaya. That's why they call them IJs, Papua New Guinea, really. And they're just very yellow by nature. They have a lot of yellows. And look at the female. Look at her. She's got yellows, and she's het axanthic, which takes away some of the yellows. But she's yellow, so it's hard to get rid of all the yellows. The only way to get rid of all the yellows is to have 2 copies of the caramel gene in addition to the axanthic gene. So this is albino axanthic, that male, but now we need to get the genes that take away all the yellows, and that's what we're working on the I'm going to show you in a second, the pair of caramel double het to potentially Moonglow. So we'll see that in a minute. But this, just for your information, this is what the snow males will look like, or snow carpets in general, when they're adults. Unfortunately, this boy's in shed. I really wanted to show him to you. He's my potential Moonglow single copy. So that would be a caramel albino axanthic. So he's a snow with the caramel gene added. We call that a Moonglow, single copy Moonglow, whereas a full Moonglow would be, or full moon would be, a super caramel albino axanthic. We don't have one of those. That's what I'm trying to produce here. We have this boy, like I said, who was in shed, in with mama. That is a caramel double het Moonglow. So it's a caramel that's het for axanthic and het for albino. So if these two happen to breed and we get babies, we potentially can produce the super caramel albino axanthic, which would be the full Moonglow. So that's what we're trying for. This boy's not going to be doing any breeding right now because he is in the shed, and hopefully in another week he'll be back in action again with breeding. All right, look at that. Beautiful 72-degree day out. It was freezing last night. My albino olive python female is out and about. She's getting a little exercise, stretching out a little. The sun's kind of like hitting her cage right now as we hit about 3:30 in the afternoon. It's funny, they know when the sun's going to hit their cage, and so she's going to try to warm up a little bit, I guess, because, like I said, it's been really cold these past couple days. At night, it kind of warms up during the day to 70, so it's not too bad. And they need the cold weather. These olive pythons need to get cool. I couldn't cool them enough inside. And if you don't get them cold enough, they don't breed. And I haven't bred them yet, so they haven't gotten cold enough, obviously, yet. So hopefully, let's see what she'll do. There she is. She'll probably try to bite me, even through the cage. You're in a shed, or you've got some stuck shed on you, which is kind of weird. Well, I guess it's been pretty dry out here too, so it is possible that she's got some stuck shed. She looks like such a beautiful, nice snake. If you put your hand in there, she'll bite your hand off. She'll take a chunk in your hand. It's happened before. All right, guys, that's going to do it for today here at Palumbo's Pythons and Boas. Our next video is going to be our Christmas video, and we're going to try to pick out the most green and the most red snakes. So that's going to be tomorrow. Special holiday edition. We usually don't do videos on the weekend. Once in a while we throw a few in there, but we're going to be doing our Christmas edition because Christmas falls on Monday, so I guess it won't be a weekend video, but I'm going to film it over the weekend. So you guys will get to see my greenest and my reddest snakes in my collection. I hope you enjoyed today's videos. If you see any carpet pythons that you might be interested in, or if you want to ask me what else I got in the collection that I might be willing to sell, feel free to reach out. For now, you know what to do. Hit that subscribe button, turn on those notifications, hit that like button. I'll see you back Christmas Day.